Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hello, everybody. Got my music at the proper level finally. There we go. Okay. So, welcome back to the third live stream that I've done yet so far. Get that. I feel like the music's too loud, but my mixer says it's not. So I always think that. So, essentially, what I'm looking to cover today is I'm looking to talk about APRS, which is the Automatic Position Reporting System, or Automatic Packet Reporting System. It's something that we use in amateur radio and is most commonly known for its maps of people, of operators, of weather stations. So you know what I'm talking about. If you've never heard of APRS, we're going to look at this screen first. We're going to look at my desktop real quick, and then we're going to actually go over to this right here. This is my, this is the little site I got set up for today. So this is APRS. I'm here in Oregon, and let me make sure my audio is all good right now. Okay, yep, it's good. So, this is APRS. This is a map of operators and of weather stations and everything that have essentially uploaded their location along with data over the internet or over radio. So in fact, like maybe this station right here, say they could actually be getting uploaded over the internet, so they could be sending a packet of data to Marble over here, and then that is a Marble decides to upload it to the internet, and then it goes to this website, and with that they can have data attached to it. So you see all these WX stations right here. We'll look at this WX station right here, and we'll go show weather charts, and you'll see that they have weather information attached to them. Now if we actually look right here, we'll see how they were uploaded. Okay, so this says TCPXX. So this was uploaded directly over the internet to APRS here. APRS IS is the servers, APRS Phi is this website. So essentially, I've left a whole bunch of links that I'm going to be talking about in the next hour down in the video description. I added it at the beginning of the video. So APRS Phi, if you want to go check it out, see what stations are in your local area, feel free, go down there. So actually, you can see this station right here. They've been traveling for quite a while down this road here. And KG7 ULN 7. We can go to their info, and they're actually over the airwaves. So they're on the frequency 144.390 is the national for the United States packet frequency for APRS. And what that means is that there's repeaters on it that listen and post the info to the internet for the location. You can send messages over this. But to really sum it up, it is a tactical two-way communications network over radio. And the internet when the internet is still up. Yeah, this does all work when the internet's down. You can see the device for this station is a Kenwood THD74. It's an HT. If we actually go right here and we copy this information into Google right here, you'll actually see images of the exact radio he's using. So this radio, made by Kenwood, has the ability, has an APRS, has a GPS receiver in it, and it has its ability to upload its location to the internet. And you know, that's just one of many radios. In fact, my Anytone 878 here can actually, let me go to my camera. This Anytone 878 can actually send APRS data. It just can't receive it. So you won't see like messages on the screen. You can't send messages, but it will upload its location. It has a GPS receiver in it and the ability to send packets. Also, I wonder what if some people are wondering what I mean by packets. What I mean by data packets is the APRS network. How it works is, say this radio right here. We're sitting right here at my house. A GPS antenna built into here. Sorry about the voice crack. A GPS antenna built into here will receive its GPS location. This thing, the radio, has a chip inside that will take that GPS location and turn it into a packet of data. GPS location, call sign, its speed, everything like that. And it will transmit it out over the air on 144.390. No internet here. Nothing in here that's connected to the internet. Just GPS and the radio antenna. That's it. And then when the data packet goes through the air, it gets to something called a digipeater. Now that digipeater probably doesn't have any internet also, but that could be like 10 miles away. And so it makes its first hop, as we call it, to that digipeater on top of a hill or a mountain. And then that thing says, oh man, this radio is looking to get its location posted to the internet or get a message to someone. And how we pass a message to someone across the United States is, of course, over the internet. But it could do a whole bunch of hops through digipeaters if you set it up correctly. Now, that probably wouldn't happen because the coverage is fairly limited in some places. But this right here we'll send that to the digipeater. The digipeater will say, okay, I need to get this to an iGate. And so it gets it to the iGate, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm the final hop. And so I'll post it to the internet, and it posts it to the internet, and it gets, and the location goes on APRS 5, that website you just saw. And with that, you can also send messages. Say it gets to that digipeater with, oh, this is a call sign, a location, and it has a message attached to it for, let's say, W7PM, who's my Elmer. I want to send a message to him. Oh, wait, he's all the way up in Washington or something right now? Okay. Well, then it will find where W7PM's location is. This is the servers for APRS looking up. Okay, well, W7PM, he's up in Washington, so we better send the packet up to an iGate up in Washington. Okay. So it sends it up to an iGate. The iGate sends out, and then goes to a digipeater, and then it gets to W7PM, and then he sees on his screen, oh, I just got a message. I just got a message from KJ7BRE. So, yeah. And so if you are a ham radio operator on this live stream, if you have a call sign, I urge you to do something right now. You don't need any equipment. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're watching this live stream, you obviously have an internet connection and a computer. Go to the website I left in the description of the video. It's called Find You. It will show up this website right here. You put in your call sign, send message to, and a message. Now, I urge you, if you are not an amateur radio operator, do not use this. They will IP ban you and everything, and you won't be able to use the system in the future. If you are a licensed amateur with a technician call sign or above, go to this website, put in your call sign, put in my call sign, KJ7BRE. No dash at the end or anything, just KJ7BRE. And then put in a message, say hi or nice stream or whatever. And it will actually get that data packet that you send over the internet to an iGate in my local area. And then I have a laptop right here. This is my APRS laptop, runs 24/7. And you can see my location right there in the middle, KJ7BRE. You can also search that up on APRS Fi and see my location along with any information on my station. Super cool stuff. And so essentially, if anybody sends me a message during this live stream, I'll give it a little bit. I'll give it like 30 minutes. If no one sends me a message, then I'll get some other people to over Discord. But essentially, the message will show up on screen, and we'll be able to reply to them and send a message back. By the way, if you are that amateur radio operator who's going to be sending me a message, just note, once you send the message, it will show you a list of messages if I send them back. So just keep that tab open. So, I don't know if there's any amateur radio operators here, but started the streamer 5 minutes early and turned on the camera 25 seconds late. Well, in regards to that, my computer's usually synced to GPS time, like that. And also the 25 seconds late, actually, that would be on you, because my latency is what's caused that. When I start the stream, it takes about 20-30 seconds to actually get out to you where you start viewing it. So yes, I started exactly at 3 o'clock. So maybe I'll start it 20 seconds early, my camera, and maybe everything will be perfectly on time. Who knows? So yeah, so if anybody sends me a message, we'll see it come up here on screen, and I'll be sure to pan over as soon as I see that. You'll get a nice shout out here and everything. Essentially, APRS 2A Communications Network, they can send weather data over this. You saw those graphs. That actually could all be sent over in a data packet and uploaded to APRS Fi. Anything. Now, it's pretty simple. My station is actually on here too. We could go back over to here, and we'll go back to the map view. Okay, and we'll exit out here, and you'll see my station right here, KJ7BRE, with my YouTube channel right here attached to it. That's actually that laptop you just saw. it's sending APRS packets. And I'm going to be actually talking a ton about that laptop later in the stream, because that laptop is hooked up to a Wuxon or Baofeng radio, like a really cheap, just Chinese radio over sound card. I don't have any like serial. It's just the sound card, the headphone and the microphone. It's so simple. Highly urge you to get into APRS if you get your amateur radio license. So right here, info. You'll see that since I have my station selected right here, it shows only the stations that are interacting with my station. Now, it goes from KJ7BRE. So like I said, I send the data packet. Then it goes, okay, I'm going to send it to W7LT, who's a digipeater. They're not connected to the internet. Well, they probably are, but it's how I have my bounces set up. It's trying to send over 2 times, not just directly to W7LT, and W7LT posts it to the internet. It wants it to get it to one more station. So KJ7BRE to W7LT. W7LT says, oh, this station wants to send it to one more station before hitting to an iGate. So it broadcasts out. And then N7 TNG all the way up here across the Washington border up in Vancouver receives my data packet. And he actually has information attached to his thing. Check this out. He has telemetry data attached to his system. Now, this is another cool thing to do. If you don't know what telemetry is an awesome thing. Telemetry is temperature, voltage, amperage, any information you want to know about a piece of equipment. That's telemetry. So, TV stations, the studios down there, they need to know what's going on with the transmitter up at the hill. How much power is it giving out? Does it have proper cooling? What's the temperature in the building? Has anybody entered the building lately? What's the temperature outside? Did the lights on the tower turn on at night? Stuff like that. That's all telemetry data, and that can all be done over radio and data packets, and usually is. In fact, your local water system if you have a water tower, the pumps that turn on to pump water up into the water tower, to know when the water tower is getting low and turn on that pump that's in a remote area, that's actually usually done over radio and data packets. So this guy right here, last telemetry. So we'll show graphs. These are his packets transmitted by the hour. He does about, looks like just about 48, 49 packets. Just 46 packets usually per day. Or no, that's per hour, excuse me. iGate packets. So these are the most important ones right here. These are the packets that he is receiving from other digipeaters or stations that he is posting to this website, to APRS-Fi. APRS.Fi is a website, by the way. That's what I'm on right now. And he has his station logging how many packets he actually sends. We got 9 viewers right now. Wow. And then these are RF packets heard. So the amount of packets he actually, his station heard, his or her station heard over the air. Now, not all these were probably sent over the internet. Like, for instance, 22 packets right here, and there's 21 right up here at the same time. So one of those packets of data could have been a duplicate or whatever and didn't get sent over the iGate. So, and this is the monthly receiver reports. So it looks like his station hasn't been running for that long. It looks like it's been running since May 9th. Actually, earlier, it just started up at noon today. Really? Huh. That's lucky. No, wait. Nope, there was iGate packets there. I guess to restart the music. We'll restart that there. So, essentially, he has other things. He or she has other stations, N7TNG-4, N7TNG.5. The dash whatever number allows you to have multiple stations under your call sign. So for instance, I have KJ7BRE with no dash. That is my home station. Runs 24/7, and the reason why it runs 24/7 is for me to receive messages from other people. By the way, I still haven't received a message. Go down to Find You if you're a licensed ham radio operator and send me a message. And essentially, that stays on 24/7 for me to receive messages, bulletins, weather data when the internet's down. If the internet ever went down, I actually have weather data from other people. And I can message to other people in case the repeaters go down or whatever. Repeaters going down, really unlikely in our area. We keep really good quality repeaters running, in my group at least. Now, with that, I have also my Anytone. My Anytone runs APRS. It's APRS-1. Or it's KJ7BRE-1. And this is, you know, my mobile. So when I go out on a walk or something, you know, and I want to transmit my APRS location, I can just do that. Why not, you know? And then I have APRS, or KJ7BRE-2, which is actually my phone. So you can, if you're a licensed, actually you don't have to be licensed for this, excuse me, because this actually goes out just over the APRS network. It doesn't actually go out over the air. It's just on APRS-5. So if you want to put your location on APRS.5, go ahead. You can't do messages or anything, but you can do that. Choose whatever you want to be your call sign, as long as it's not an actual, like, real amateur call sign. Maybe you could put, like, your name is cool or whatever. Yeah, it's completely legal to do. And you'll get this little message bar here, this little thing, and you can see KJ7BRE-2 up there by my thumb. And it's and a little digipeater symbol. I can switch on beaconing on top, and it'll just use the GPS data and the GPS data that my phone receives, and it'll send it up to the cell tower as regular data, you know, that your phone uses it, and then the APRS servers will reach it from there, and they'll just put it up on their website. They won't actually send it out over the air or anything. And yeah, so all my stations, they have a comment in the comment box of them. That's just my YouTube channel link, and then they'll say base, they'll say HT, or if you don't know what HT is, I try to explain acronyms on my stream. HT is handheld talkie or handheld radio, any handheld. So, you know, there's a big difference between, you know, the big Yaesu on my desk that, you know, is bigger than my hand versus the little handheld radio that fits right in my hand. So, any handheld radio is an HT. Okay, no more messages in there. We got 5 viewers still. Okay, so essentially, we can, you know, send messages back and forth. So I'm actually gonna end up sending a quick bulletin out to some people on Discord, to the wonderful people on the Ham Radio Crash Course group, actually. So we're gonna actually go over to just off topic. And we're just gonna send them a nice nice message. I do have to do a spell check real fast. Okay. So yeah, so I just posted something to them, and hopefully they'll send me a message or something over APRS. I'm waiting for them to do that. So while we're waiting for that, I'll talk a bit about the laptop, because that's the main thing I want to talk about. Sorry if my camera's a little shaky when I do this. It's because it's literally a webcam. So laptop right here. Laptop runs this software called Exaster, which is a map software for APRS. It also adds a GUI interface to do different functions for the map. Right here, not that one, this one right here. You'll see that there is a like a little like code sort of like box. It has a whole bunch of cool colors and stuff right there, and that is called Direwolf. So these two pieces of software communicate with each other. Everything starts right here at this handheld radio. It's a Wuxon, and it has a little speaker like mic connector on the side, and then it goes through a little loop in the back there and comes out the side here. And then that cord simply goes from there into an audio connector, and then that audio connector goes right into the computer. Okay, simple as that. And that is how I do all my APRS. It's just through that one radio. It's really, really simple. Now, once it makes it into the laptop, that piece of software called Direwolf, which I added a link in the description. It's on GitHub. You can install it onto a Linux operating system. This laptop right here runs Raspbian desktop edition, so the Raspberry Pi desktop runs it all on there. You do need internet to install all of the software, but once it's installed, it will run completely without internet. You can see how there's actual stations on my screen, none of which were received over the internet. They were all received over this antenna. Literally, I don't put an external antenna on this. Just this short little antenna will receive all the ones in my local area. And you see, I got stations going, you know, all the way out to the coast. There's ones out here in Tillamook that are like, they're faded because they're like weeks old. But that station right there has been running for probably, I don't know, let's see the uptime on it. Just so you can kind of get a 1 day, 14 hours, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds. That's how long that map before it's been refreshed. And that's a lot of stations. It's pretty cool. And, you know, I can click on those stations to get the weather information. It's a bit harder to use because this, you know, this laptop doesn't exactly, it's not exactly powerful. It's actually an old Windows XP laptop. It's an HP Pavilion. And so, yeah. So, Direwolf connects to the sound card, takes that data packet it hears over the air. Really weird sound. I'll allow you to hear it. So you can kind of get a basic understanding of what APRS sounds like. It's not pretty. Well, let me just say that. I turn on the fan in here. It's getting warm. So I'll go 144.390 on my radio. And then I'll turn up the volume a little bit, and you'll get to hear the wonderful sound of APRS. I'll actually just hit the transmit button on my laptop so we don't have to wait too long. Okay. Wait for it. Those are faint stations. There you go. So, you know, like a screech in a way, but that's data. That's that call sign, the weather information, all that stuff. I'm gonna turn it off now, but that's all that goes out over that frequency. And that's, you know, that's APRS. That's everything you saw on that website. All is sent over that one frequency. It's insane. I can't, you know, it's amazing. By the way, this system works all over the world. There's digipeaters set up to receive it. Different frequencies for each country, though, because each country has a different way that they license out frequencies for amateur radio. So essentially what we can, you know, make of this station right here is it takes that information that it receives over the sound card using Direwolf, and that in Direwolf you saw that thing with the like the red with the green and blue and red packets of data. That is it taking that sound it hears over the radio that's plugged in directly into the microphone port and turning it into something that's actually readable. Then the computer has another piece of software on it called Exaster. That's that map you saw. And under that, there's an interface tab, which I'll actually pull up. Okay, so, and you'll see this right here. It says networked AGWP, AGWPE localhost 8000 direwolf. It says up, device 1. That is the interface that it's receiving off of, aka direwolf is the packet, data packet over the sound card to computer readable format thing. So direwolf sends that data into Exaster, where it shows up on the map. I can send messages using Exaster back into direwolf and then back out the radio. It all works really simply. I guarantee you, if you have an old laptop, if you have a Raspberry Pi, I've run this on a Raspberry Pi. Used to be KJ7BRE-15 was what it was. I don't have 15 stations. It was just -15 because I wanted to get it high up in the numbers as a test one. It's actually been over a year since I've used that station, and the information, once it's up on APRS, cannot be deleted unless if you're a web station using the like an iPhone app, or you can actually do it over your over APRS.fi, the website, and send your location out over there without an amateur radio call sign. Same thing. And with that, they you know, they essentially, it doesn't get over the air, but they I can send messages using all that, and it's really fun. No one has actually sent me a message yet. So I'm actually gonna send myself a message. So just for proof, let me check my stream to make sure there's no new messages. Yeah, you can do that with a, you can't do it with an SDR. Well, actually you probably could, but it would only receive. And that's, you know, that's completely legal. Not illegal, it is legal. You are allowed to do it. But you just won't, your location won't show up on the air. You'll just be able to see people's messages and stuff. Yeah, if you can get, you know, it all to work on Linux, sure. And yeah, so essentially, I keep saying essentially, I notice. I'm gonna send myself a message because no one else has. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna go over to this this message box right here, my call sign. Okay, we're gonna do KJ7BRE dash. Let's do my what my HT uses, -1. Okay, then we'll copy that over and we'll do send message to KJ7BRE. Okay, in the message we're gonna say this is a test for the live stream, and subscribe, because why not? Okay, so this is a test for the live stream, subscribe. That's what I have the message set up for. We're gonna hit send message. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. Less than 10 seconds. This laptop with no internet received that data packet over the air. Okay, I didn't have to put in any location data to the computer, that web interface, and there you go. This is a test for the live stream, subscribe. And I can easily reply back using this box right here and hit send now. And it will send back over the air to the internet, to a digipeater, and all that stuff, and get back to this person, and it will show up on this box right here as another message. And you can hit send another back to the person and have a conversation over it, you know? It's crazy. And you think that's, you know, it sounds like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. We have text messaging these days, but you know, once the internet goes down, I'm not trying to do the whole Pepper thing, but I'm not going to pull that card today, but essentially it will work without any internet. You know, I'm just saying, like up here it says NA, if you notice. Oh, that's for location. Ethernet right here. No wireless interfaces found. Nothing. Bluetooth is off. No Bluetooth adapters found. No Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Nothing. Just a sound card. And yeah, so that's essentially it. Pretty simple. So we have been going for just about 30 minutes here. I'm gonna take a quick break for 1 minute and go grab something from another room and bring it back so I can demonstrate another thing with this. So please give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, I just walked out to the garage and realized the thing I'm looking for is right here. I'm crazy. It's up in the window. And the reason why is because I'm using it to receive GPS for what's it called? For my time, to set the time on my computer properly. You're gonna hear a disconnect sound here in a sec. Okay, there it is. For Windows. Okay, so this is it right here. This is what I was gonna show you. This wonderful thing. It's a little GPS receiver. And you're probably wondering, like, why would I show you this? There's no point, you know. Well, this laptop right here, if I took that mobile in a vehicle, how would it know where the location is? Well, that Exaster software, not Direwolf, Exaster will actually talk to this GPS receiver and update my location on the map. Now I can actually, because it's a fixed location right now, I can drag my little icon KJ7BRE like across the screen and change where its location is. Like, I could easily do that, but with you know, if you were mobile, you're not going to drag it, you know, whatever. You're going to use this because that's the main thing. So GPS receiver on one end. It has a little magnet built in the bottom, so you can actually stick this on, it's not weatherproof, but you could stick it if you had like a bit of metal on your dash or whatever, you could stick it on that. Something I really find nice to stick to for this is if you have one of those like things for the back of your car that you pull and it like covers up anything you have in like the back. If you have like an SUV and it covers up everything that's in the back of the vehicle for sun, or so people don't look in there and like, oh, that's interesting, you know. That's usually made out of metal, and you can stick it right on there, and then have and it has actually line of sight out through one of the side small windows in the back of the SUV. That's where I put it. We have a Subaru, that's where we put it onto, or I put it onto when we're mobile with this setup. And then I can put that on a laptop deck or whatever. I want to do a laptop deck, but I end up usually putting it on my lap and using it for other things, or use it with a different computer that has more processing power, so I can do APRS and do other things in the background. So this, and then USB on the other end. The USB is a little wonky because it got crushed once, but it works. So yeah, this little GPS receiver, I'll leave a link to in the description. I think they go for like $10, $7 on Amazon. They may be a little higher than that, but all I know is they're really cheap. Pick one up for yourself. Many uses. Personally, the two things I've used this for is I've used it for APRS, and I've actually used it for time server, like I just said. It was hooked up to my desktop computer. This is sitting in the window. I have a little program called NMEA time on my computer. It looks for this as a serial device, and it syncs its time with the satellites. Super accurate. And so if you're running logging software for you know, amateur radio, you know, to log your contacts, or running other type of like telemetry software, we talked about telemetry today, you should get your thing synced to an FTP time server, which is over the internet, or GPS. I could spend hours talking about that, but you know, that would be for another live stream if you're interested in seeing that, because talking about time, you know, that could be boring, but we could talk about time and how I use internet and GPS receivers to receive really accurate time. What? Raspberry Pis can transmit on GPIO4. Yes, they can. I realized that was like 10 minutes ago and I didn't see it. Sorry. They can transmit on GPIO4, but I don't know if they make any like software. Plus, you need hardware for it too that will work. You need filtering hardware, so it'll be right on frequency. And let me fix this real quick. All right. So we have a few more minutes left here in the live, so we'll look at APRS Phi a little bit more. Go back to map view. And we'll exit out. So something I really want you to notice is that there's a lot of WX stations, and if we zoom out, WX stations pretty much take up all the area, okay? So I open up this tab right here with some filtering on it. It has a filter running right here. It says any station with the symbol WX do not show on the map. And this basically just allows you to see all the actual amateur radio stations. It'll load. It does take quite a bit of processing to actually load these maps. There we go. So obviously this guy right here, who was working on his APRS station, had a bit of a packet mishap and ended up sending a point out towards the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Not the middle, but you know. Yeah, he was obviously they were working just fine, you know, over here, and then boom, straight across all the way to the Pacific, and came all the way back here, went down the road a little bit more. So something could have happened with the GPS. Maybe it received a wrong packet. They went under a bridge, came back out. It thought it was over here. Error could have happened. Whatever, you know. My Elmer W7PM, actually, when he first got his Anytone, it was set up for it wasn't set up for GPS. It was set up for fixed positioning, like my current station is right here. My current laptop is, because I don't have any GPS receiver and it doesn't move. It's here at the house, unless if I'm on a trip, which I just talked about with the GPS receiver. His radio, since it was set up for the fixed positioning, you'll never guess where the fixed positioning was. It was at the place the radio was built in China. So his APRS station showed up that it was all the way in China, and then he was like, oh well, I'm gonna change it back to GPS, and we're gonna make it come back here. Goes back here, you zoom all the way out till you can see like all the continents, and like on APRS .phi, and it will and you just see this nice green line going across the Pacific Ocean. And of course that only stayed up there for about 15 minutes to an hour. You can actually change the time right here. that it says show last 15 minutes. So we'll just show packets that were received in the last 15 minutes. And you can see, obviously, I'm right here because my station sends, you know, pretty regularly. It sends every 15 minutes, so it stays up, showing that it's a really active station because 15 minutes is the lowest you can go. But we'll go like 24 hours. And, you know, we'll see a lot more than what we were before. Also, this site also uses AIS data, which AIS is for ships running, you know, in the water. Yeah, because, you know, where else would the ships be? Yeah, they're in the air. Nah. So they're right here, and you can they're done over AIS. If we do info, then we'll do last path AIS via, and then these are AIS stations that it receives. So works like APRS, except it's on a whole other frequency. Whoa, now where did we just go? Oh, nice. I think we're in... Oh, are we like in... Yeah, we're in like Finland. Whoops. You can see there's tons of activity in Germany. Like, it's all over the world. Like here, we'll go up right here, Netherlands. And let's see if they will load up. By the way, me pausing right here, like I can try to move the map. It takes quite a bit of processing on your computer to run the map. I don't know if it's gonna load. Here, we'll reload the page. Oh, no, I reloaded it a little early. Okay, well, you saw the stations. They were there. You know, they're up here all over the world. Once you zoom out to a certain level, it just goes to these, like, coverage, like, area map things, because, you know, we wouldn't want it to, like, be showing every little station, because it would bog down your computer so much. Whoops. And, you know, there's not gonna be a lot of activity in other places like North Korea. You know, obviously for reasons. Yeah, you can see that. So. And there is actually activity down in South Korea. So, yeah, no activity in North Korea, of course. That's really standard with radio. Because there's a lot of bans on outside communication there. But I don't want this to get taken off YouTube, so I'm not going to talk about that. And we'll go back to Oregon here, and you'll be able to find all of our regular stations. All the normal stations that I'm used to. So, yeah, so that's a, you know, that's a basic, oh yeah, Phi is Finland, where it takes to default to the map. Yep, that's true. That makes sense too. And yeah, so also I got a question through Discord not too long ago. I got another thing through here. All right, looks like someone tried to send me a message. 3:30. Okay. Send the message. Oh, wait. Oh, someone sent the message. I saw it just come through. Wow, that took a little while. Cool. We got a message from KD8ZME. Right there. Test message. APRS is awesome. And okay, we'll reply back to him. Be like, thanks. Just say thanks for helping out on the live. And we'll do an exclamation mark, and we'll hit send now. And you'll see it's black. The APRS radio sending. Sends another packet probably in just a sec. Yep, goes again. Oh, and we received a valid. You saw it came back with a response. The green light was it receiving a packet, and came back as a valid thing. So we just had a short conversation with this guy, and that's awesome. So appreciate sending the data there. We can actually see KD8ZME. Let's look up that call sign on APRS 5 and see where they're at. We'll do KD8. ZME, is that it? KD8ZME. Loading. Okay, I'm not gonna share the exact location. They're actually okay, they're out here in Ohio. That's awesome. So almost all the way across the United States, and it looks like they sent me the let me actually check here. Info. APX 210. I think that's actually a Motorola radio, if I'm not. APX 210, isn't that a Motorola? Okay, I don't see it. I thought that was a Motorola radio. Let me see. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. But I don't know what APX 210 is, but excuse me, TCP/IP. Yeah, they sent it over the APRS thing. I don't know why. APX is like a series of Motorola radios. That's why I didn't see that. But yeah, so they sent it over over the TCP/IP. So they sent it over the internet using the messages. Whoops. And so yeah, so that's cool. Oh, right here. I was looking at the wrong freaking thing. I'm stupid. Exaster. So they're using the exact same software I'm using, but they are actually using it over the internet instead of connected to a radio. You can do that, and yeah, that's pretty cool. It looks like they might have a radio hooked up, but they sent it. I'm not sure, actually. Huh. Let me see it on the map. Not sure. Okay, well, yeah, thank you for sending me a message, though. You can reply if you want to, if you're still here. And I'll be sure to pan back over to that. But that was cool. So, yeah, received a message from all the way across the United States, almost all the way across, through the APRS network. I received that with no internet. That's pretty insane. Or it did go out over the internet, of course, because it needs to link the other ones, but you know, I'm not counting that. You know, I received it on my end that way. So that's pretty awesome to see. And so yeah, so with those two pieces of software, I'll point this out. This is Direwolf. This is down in the description, giving my my nice you know, shout outs to the software I use. This is Direwolf. It's on GitHub. There's also this looks like a lot, but if you want to download it like and set it up on your computer, just use the get function on the command line and it'll be way super easy. Same thing for Exaster. There's a thing like how to set up Direwolf and Exaster, how to set up Direwolf and Exaster, and we'll find this is CPAC. This is actually the cam radio convention I go to that was canceled this year, sadly, due to the human malware virus. Yep, they have their slides here. And yeah, actually I think I remember hearing about this, but yep, this is they have a whole thing here on how to install it. It looks like a lot because they explain it too, but yeah, if you want to like set up your station using APRS, then oh yeah, here's GPS installation. This is how I set up my GPS. So yep, if you want to do this, feel free to. They have lots of nice information there. And then there's the Exaster wiki, which is for the nice GUI. Oh, We got a message back. No problem. It's a Raspberry Pi with a Kenwood radio hooked up to it. Okay, nice to hear. That's awesome. So they're using Exaster on a Raspberry Pi with a Kenwood radio hooked up. And I will be sure to show you that message coming through here. Oh, we got a thing there. So no problem. It's a Raspberry Pi with a Kenwood radio hooked up to it right there. And I'll just reply back with very cool. Thanks for watching. And that will send. Remember, it's sending the data again. And remember, watch the black bar. It will disappear when I get a green light back, which is me receiving a packet that says message sent, you know, correctly. Confirmation. It will send. Oh, there we go. Oh, that wasn't for me. We'll give it another second if it doesn't send. Okay. So, you know, they might have, you know, turned off their station or whatever, you know. Anything could have happened. I'm just going to hit, you know, cancel pending messages because it usually goes faster than that. But, you know, they're probably watching the live stream. Thank you to KD8ZME for helping out with that awesome demonstration there. So, we're nearing up to the hour where I will be signing off. But with that, I'll talk a little bit more about some other things. We usually talk about other subjects towards the end, but appreciate everybody who's here to learn about the APRS system. It's a very cool system. Totally. Just get a Raspberry Pi. Get a Raspberry Pi and, like, a simple radio. I'll show you the radio I was actually planning to use with APRS. One sec. Okay, go to your local ham radio convention or go to your local swap meet or whatever and pick yourself up an old VHF like radio, okay? You can see this thing's pretty massive. It only does one band. It does VHF only, this whole thing. But it's a nice Kenwood. How you input the frequency is with these knobs. You know, if you wanted to do, set the first number, so it would be, for saying the first number, it would be, it's always gonna be 1 in the beginning, but it would be 1, 4, then 4, and then 3, and then it would be, or it's gonna be, yeah, 144.39. So, yeah, and, you know, this is what I'm going to use for APRS instead of that little radio right there. Because it's bulky, it will work better than just that little handheld. Plus, you really don't want what's called, you know, end airtime, which happens with my station. Because how my station works is when it sends the packet, it sends audio down the speaker output line into the microphone input of the radio, the handheld, and then the handheld uses a function called Vox, which essentially is meant for you just talk in the microphone and then it starts transmitting. Really bad method, but it works. So, but what that means is at the end of the transmission, it could essentially it could transmit for like maybe a second longer, which, you know, the system works so fast you don't want that extra second. This, however, has a PT input directly. This radio does too, but it's easier to do it with this, and you would hook up like a serial connection, like a DB9 serial, if you know what those are. Hopefully you do if you're in this hobby. They are these connections that you'll see. you pick up one of those adapters to USB. That's what I have on my computer right here, because a lot of the EIS equipment behind me uses serial. There's about 14, about 19 different serial connections that are available in there that I use probably 4 of for all the equipment in that rack, but I'm not talking about that. That was actually the first live stream if you want to go check that out. And essentially, it will work faster and more efficient with the system. And so yeah, you just pick yourself up one of these things. I picked this up for $2 from that swap mate. Cheap, but you know, useful. So I'm just gonna feed that in. It's a standard like CB, like 4-pin microphone connection. You know, there you go. Hook up 12 volt on the other side and you're good to go, and an antenna. And so yeah, so that really fun, really fun. And we actually have part of our repeater system. There's an actual digipeater up on a hill. But yeah, so essentially, if you're interested to talk more about these subjects and all that, I'm trying to get an active Discord going. If you don't know what Discord is, it's more meant for gaming, but it's a chat service, multiple chat channels essentially, and audio channels that you can join. And talk about subjects like, you know, you could join like hashtag networking and talk about network gear. We have hashtag sirens to talk with the siren community, hashtag fire alarms to talk with the fire alarm community. And they're each of those hashtags are different, you know, sections to the server. I'll actually end up showing you the thing here. Well, I'll go over to radio and we'll talk about that real quick. I'll just show you this. We got like radio, the emergency alert system. We don't have a lot of activity. Here's sirens. Still love this photo. And firefighting, where we talk about you know, that, and general, where there's, you know, wonderful discussions. But yeah, if you want to go be a part of that, the link is in the very bottom of the description, and you'll get a little message that says if you want to essentially join or not. And it's pretty easy if you want to do that, and just talk to us whenever. You know, I'm online on there pretty much all the time. So and yeah, if you know, if you're also interested in like some of those smaller hobbies that I'm into, like sirens, fire alarms, EAS, all that stuff, we talk about that stuff. We have resources to other groups who talk about it. You know, our community is sort of a really small community. We have like probably 50 members or so. We just talk, you know, about all this stuff. It's totally not like what would you call it? It's not formal. It's informal. And yeah, it's just fun. So if you want resources to other communities about that kind of stuff, and you want to really get into those communities, come over to our Discord and we'll give you the links to, you know, other nice communities that will help you out with whatever you're trying to figure out. If that's equipment, licensing, anything will help you out. Also, I don't know if the person who was who sent me that message was on the HRCC group, but thank you to the Ham Radio Crash Course group for letting me send that quick message over in their Discord. Ham Radio Crash Course, made by Josh Nass, KAI6NAZ. He does live streams. He just reached 100K subscribers actually on his YouTube channel. And if you go on my YouTube and go into the side, the right sidebar, you'll actually see his channel. Because he has actually shouted me out on his live stream. So appreciate that. His live stream was actually yesterday. He talked about location grids and grid tracking, grid tracker. It's really cool. But yeah, he does weekly live streams on Sundays, or no, Saturdays, excuse me, at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard. Or we're in Pacific Daylight right now. So, yes, appreciate you all tuning into the live stream. It's currently 1 minute past the hour, so I'm gonna head out. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Discord, and I'll be sure to see you all in the next live stream. And stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all next time. America.